Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of your favorite midday NFL show on the internet, Roundtable Sports, fourth and forever. It is a beautiful Thursday afternoon here in Florida as I am staring out at blue skies, 72, 73 degrees. I'm about to take my ass to get a haircut after this video because God knows I need it. TD, how's life, man?
Life is beautiful. It's a beautiful day out. Listen, man, it's spring break where I am. Everybody's enjoying themselves. And we still have Fourth and Forever right here at 2 p.m. each and every weekday. Y'all make sure y'all come through, show your love and support. Let's talk some football.
Hell yeah, man. I would fix your mic, too. It sounds like it's not on. Richie, how's the good life, man?
You're not coming through your mic, TD. The life is good, man. Speaking of weather, yesterday was a beautiful day in New York. I mean, you guys are in Florida. You're used to the sun. Today's a little but hey, it's a good time to be in New York because we're entering spring, which means all good things. So shout out to everybody in the chat. We appreciate you guys always tuning in to Roundtable Sports' fourth and forever. Hit the thumbs up button on your way into the show, man. And we still got to figure out that next emoji. I don't know if it's going to be a Glenn emoji or something else because we're eligible to add a new emoji.
I thought we decided on the Glenn emoji.
Well, Glenn's got to send me a photo of himself of some sort so I can make the emoji. I don't have a photo of Glenn handy.
My God, I feel like we're going to have to do it. Quick question. So are y'all college basketball guys? Like March Madness kind of guys?
Yeah, I love March Madness, but I usually only really get into it once the tournament start, which is now.
All right. Well, you know what? It's beautiful because I need the chat's help right now because I am currently on Underdog Fantasy right now. And I'll be completely honest with you. I have no idea what I'm doing. I do not follow any sport outside of football. So Johnny Broom from Auburn, I'm not really familiar with the guy's game, with the young man's game. So I'm going to go higher, 19.5 points on this dude right here. His name is Hunter Dickinson out of KU. Higher 19.5. You know what? Might as well, folks. Might as well, man. Listen, life is too short to take the lower, right? And then Zakay Ziegler out of Tennessee at 550. Over, under, higher, lower, 15.5 points. I'm thinking 15.5 points right here, man. All right, listen, everyone's already telling me what we can do. And I am going to do a $10 little situation over here. And I am going to see if I can turn that into $60. All right. Listen, I know nothing about college basketball. Have Johnny Broom, have Hunter Dickinson, and have Zakay Ziegler all going higher than their projected points. Now, guys, I'm doing this on Underdog Fantasy right now. And if you sign up, because I know all of you are absolutely mad about some college basketball, especially with March Madness, you can receive up to $1,000 in bonus credit once you sign up and use RTS as a code, plus a potential free pick. Like you log in and you see some absurd lines like, will Steph Curry score more than half a point? Like something along those lines by itself. So highly recommend you go sign up for Underdog. It is the go-to, especially during NFL season, baseball, college basketball, obviously. Go on ahead and check out Underdog Fantasy, guys, and let us know if you ever end up winning big. Super fun. Simply just go on ahead and pick 2 to 5 players as long as you accurately predict that they are either going to go higher and or lower of their projections. You could win. But always, 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 always play responsibly. Play responsibly, folks. Sign up for Underdog and send me over your plays because God knows I need them. I will tail each and every single one of you because I can imagine that you all probably know a hell of a lot more about college basketball than I do. Absolutely, folks. Help me out. Help me out. Help daddy buy a new pair of shoes, baby. All right, let's go on ahead and move on to the first topic today. Stefon Diggs, man. Stefon Diggs. He has visited the New England Patriots yesterday, and he has also visited the New England Patriots today as well. So this is 2 back-to-back visits. And you know what? This name carries a lot of controversy, I would say. Because as a Buffalo Bills wide receiver, I can give him some credit. I genuinely believe that without Stefon Diggs in Josh Allen's third year, I do not believe that Josh Allen would be the quarterback that he is today. I think that he was absolutely incredible to his development. And then once the training wheels were taken off, as proven in 2024, he spread his wings and he was fine. And the Patriots are in a similar situation where they don't have a wide receiver that is quality at all. And now he could potentially go over to New England and be what he was for Josh Allen for Drake May. But then again, there's red flags flying all over the place. Like, he has had 2 different circumstances where he has been a problem in the locker room. He has always demanded the football. And ironically enough, we heard Mike Vrabel say just like a week or 2 ago, where he said that he doesn't want to bring in a vet wide receiver necessarily because he's afraid that all he will be doing is demanding the football. So I'm kind of curious to see how this works out. He has visited them twice in a 2-day period, so it seems to be trending that he will be donning a Patriots jersey in 2025. Is this a good idea? TD, thoughts?
Yeah, I think it's actually an excellent idea. You know, the Patriots need to get this done. Why? Because you have Mac Hollins is your number 3. If you could bring Stefon Diggs in, you have a solidified number 2. You have a solidified number 2.
Who's the number 1?
That's the point. They'll at least have an opportunity now to get their number 1 in the draft. That would be the ultimate plan for them. And the draft is also loaded with wide receivers. Wide receivers that can become number 1s in the NFL will be sprinkled all through the first and the second round this year because the wide receiver class is so loaded. So the Patriots plan needs to be bring in Stefon Diggs as your number 2, Mac Hollins is number 3, and you go in the draft in the first or the second round and you get you a number 1 receiver. Right now, the consensus is that the Patriots may take the best left tackle in the draft. If I were the Patriots with that valuable pick, I would actually consider trading down into the teens to pick up an additional second round pick and still get a top left tackle in the first round and double dip at receiver in the second round just to be safe than sorry. But the Patriots, man, believe it or not, like they're not supposed to have filled all the holes in one off season, but they could look up after this draft and have a complete team. They could have a complete team. One where next year it's all about just fine tuning, but they can compete for the playoffs this year if they knock this draft out of the park the right way. That defense is solidified. We know that they still have some weaknesses on the offensive side of the football, but that's really a left tackle and another weapon or 2. That can be secured in the draft. So the Patriots, I like what they're doing, and I feel like they are putting themselves in position to have an immediate turnaround and maybe have a situation just like Harbaugh had last year with the Chargers. They could be just as successful potentially. So go get Stefon Diggs. This would be a nice look for the Patriots. You got to give Drake May a weapon. You got to help him out.
Yeah, most definitely. I do feel like that they should look at him as a wide receiver too as well, because let's be honest with ourselves here. Like, he tore his ACL midway through the season last year. And we're seeing all these videos of him working out and stuff, but I think it's safe to say that at the absolute earliest, and that would be him being, I would say, somewhat irresponsible, especially at his age, week 5 maybe is when he comes out. And anytime a player is coming off of an ACL injury, especially from the season previously, and when he is activated again, 9 times out of 10, like, you just need to put it into your mind that his training camp begins right there, right then and there. And it's going to take him time to go on ahead and get back to where he was. I think the same thing could be said about Aaron Rodgers last year. Even though he was back after a full year, right? It took him a little bit to get going. So I wouldn't see Stefon Diggs being even remotely close to what he could potentially bring at 32 years old until week 11, week 12. So I agree with TD. I still think that they need to focus on a wide receiver. Hopefully in the second and or the third round, but that's my take on that. Richie, should the New England Patriots entertain this acquisition?
Well, this is like plan C or D. I mean, let's keep it a buck. What was the narrative with the Patriots heading into the offseason? They got so much money. Oh, they're going to get DK Metcalf. They're going to trade for A.J. Brown. They're going to trade for T. Higgins. And now we're settling on Stefon Diggs, and I'm supposed to be moved? Really? A guy who's 31? I mean, come on now. I got to – everyone is just like glazing this team because they're like, oh, Stefon Diggs. Like, bro, be the number 2 receiver. First of all, when you have a guy like Stefon Diggs with a brand new coaching staff and a young quarterback, where do you think the chemistry is going to come if they have 0 time in the offseason to work together, Drake May and Stefon Diggs? This is somebody that's, if I'm Stefon Diggs, I want to go back to Houston because he already has chemistry with CJ Stroud, or go back to Buffalo. He already has chemistry. You go to a new team and you're strutting out there in week 5 with no training camp, and then you're figuring yourself out in week 12. I mean, come on, man. That's not what the Patriots need. Does not fit the timeline of the New England Patriots. The Patriots struck out on the top tier guys in this offseason, a wide receiver, and now this is what they have to settle on. And if they get him, I'm not moved. I mean, let's be honest with ourselves. This is a guy that's not going to be ready, 31 years old, coming off an ACL, wasn't even super impressive even in his time in Houston. So they desperately need him. But, like, miss me with that, oh, you're signing him to be your number 2 receiver. He's there. Matt Collins is your 3rd receiver. He is easily your number 1. If you bring him in, they got nobody on that receiver room, which is why obviously they're bringing him in. They got no other choice. Let's be honest, this is plan C, plan D even for New England. So I'm not going to give this team credit for going after a plan D. There's a reason why he's still available on the open market. And if no one wants to be real with it, I'll be real with it. All right. I'm not afraid. But I do got to give a shout out to BMAC because BMAC is out here spitting that cash. BMAC says $5. No March Madness guy here. We're Jets media guys over here. Gangrene all day. Let's effing go. My guy, I appreciate that, man. BMAC also gifted 10 Roundtable Sports members. Wow.
That is the value BMAC. Thank you, bro.
That is a value of $50 right there. So BMAC is letting it rain. Congratulations to Ford Nation, Miami Vibes, Jets fan for life, Say Breeze, Derek, Chris, Drew, 3 siblings, Austin, Patriot 92 for giving a free membership on behalf of BMAC. Everybody do me a favor and thank BMAC in the chat if you got a membership. And thank you to BMAC, man. You're very generous right now. I really, really do appreciate you big time for all your support for Jets Media and sprinkling your support from Jets Media over to Roundtable Sports. It means a lot, BMAC.
Salute to you, brother. It's big time.
That is absolutely incredible.
Someone in the chat says I'm drunk off NyQuil because of my take. I did take NyQuil last night, so you may be on to something.
Hey, let me say that, man. Richie, you're a hater, man.
I'm not a hater, bro. Give me a break with this nonsense.
Richie sees that the Jets are about to be 4th in the division,
This has nothing to do with the Jets, dude. You're telling me, bro, what did we hear from New England? T. Higgins, DK Metcalf, AJ Brown coming home. Oh, Mike Vrabel's going to land this guy. And this is who he's going to settle on? Really? I'm supposed to be.
Bro, they might have a better roster than the Jets now, if you think about it.
I have no comment. What's better than on their roster than us?
I'm just saying, overall, the team might be better, man.
I mean, on paper, I would definitely disagree, but when it comes to success on the field, that is yet to be seen. The one thing also the Patriots don't have, which we're just ignoring, which is the Jets have over them, the offensive line.
Yeah, but the draft, when they go get that left tackle,
they're gonna fix their offensive line. They're gonna fix the offensive line in the draft. Good luck.
I mean, aren't they only like 2 pieces away, Richie?
Not really.
And I understand those are 2
What did we hear from Colby? What did we hear from Colby and all Patriots fans? Well, what do you expect from Drake May? He's got no protections, got no weapons, got nothing. And now I'm expecting that all to be fixed right away. Come on, man. It's going to take a few years. It's going to take years before the Patriots are competitive, bro. Like, make it seem like they can fix everything with all this cap space and stuff in one offseason. Absolutely not. Mike Vrabel is going to fill out the roster this year. They're going to be competitive, but they're not going to do anything special next year. And then I think in 2 years is when the Patriots can actually make a run to potentially win the division or make a run at the playoffs. That's my timeline for them.
So too early prediction. How many wins for the Patriots
this year?
Yeah.
I think their floor is 6 wins. Their ceiling is 9.
All right, listen. So low key, since we've been on this Patriots topic, I have been doing a mock draft in the background. All right.
And
guess what I did?
Tell me you traded down 4 times and you.
No. I didn't do this, but I find it intriguing. Okay, perfect. So I've done 4 picks already. First round, 4th pick, I took Will Campbell. So left tackle, solid. Have Moses on the other side, whatever. Then 2nd round pick, 38th overall, I took Cam Scatterbo. as well. Cam Scatterbo. All right. Listen, come on. That's New England all over it right there. Third round, I took Josiah Stewart, another edge rusher. Okay. So they just added that guy from Tennessee, have Milton Williams on the defensive line. And then wide receiver in the third round again, I ended up taking Jalen Royals, wide receiver on the outside, super fast, could very well be a wide receiver one eventually. I think TD's right. Like, they are a draft class away from, like, really being a playoff.
Wait. You're telling me that draft class, Dan, if they did that, they're all done? They're all, every hole's filled?
No.
Richie is hating hard.
So not Super Bowl.
Because of Jalen Royals in the fourth round. Now the receiver room is set.
So I'm looking at this, like, wide receivers pretty much a necessity here. Like, we have Pop Douglas, Matt Collins on one side, and then you have Kayshon Boutte on the other side. And then you have Demario Douglas or Pop Douglas as your wide receiver weapons at this point. I don't like that, right? So, like, I think I might double dip at this wide receiver position, to be honest with you. But I'm sitting here looking at their defense, right? You have Christian Barmore, who I think we can all agree is a pretty solid interior defensive lineman. You have Milton Williams, who they just signed. They just signed Harold Landry as well as an edge rusher. You still have Gonzo, who I think is very, very good. They brought in Carlton Davis. You still have Kyle Duggar, who I think is a solid pickup. You have Jabril Peppers as the other safety. Linebackers, yeah. And then, so they also brought in Robert Spillane as well as a linebacker. Yeah, dude, this team really isn't all that bad as long as they can bring in, as long as they prioritize left tackle in the drafts, left guard. I'm not a Cole Strange guy. He's solid in pass blocking. Run blocking is a bit of a situation, but, like, I don't know. Feel like it's all right. Yes, most definitely. I think that the Pats are a good draft class away from being an automatic playoff team in 2025.
Thank you, Dan, for not hating.
Yeah.
Am I frozen?
See, TD, this is what happens when you infect Dan with that delusion. Your screen starts to fuzzle.
So we see Jesse saying that they are trading their fourth for Ayuk.
Another player coming off a torn knee. Oh, I'm so scared if they get Ayuk.
All right, listen, whether or not that it's Stefon Diggs, I think it's either going to be Steph Diggs, it's going to be Keenan Allen, and or Amari Cooper. One of those three vets will be a New England Patriot, and then I think that they'll grab.
And let's not forget who the receivers that was supposed to be from the Patriots fans: T. Higgins, DK Metcalf, AJ Brown. What happened to those three? That's what I heard all offseason.
Like, that's what we thought. Like, now, like, all the Pats can do from a veteran perspective is just go and target people that are absolutely desperate. Hence why Stefon Diggs has been there for 2 days in a row, right? Like, a guy that was literally just 2 years removed from trying to ring chase. Now he's just trying to go on ahead and get one more payday before his career completely spirals down and ends.
Well, he's not going to get a payday. He's going to get a proven deal, and then he might get one more.
Yeah. Maybe one more after the fact, but is what it is. Anyway, we need to go on ahead. Listen, folks, I am clearly high on the Patriots this upcoming season. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Richie.
What's up?
Richie, where my mug? I'm tired of carrying this one. I'm supposed to wear your mug, Dan. See, Richie, you care about Dan more than me, man. And a t-shirt.
And so if y'all want a fourth and forever coffee cup,
and I'm over here out of place with a trophy husband mug. Come on, man.
All right, bro. I don't drink
the trophy husband mug, dude. Damn.
Like, come on, Richie. You got me going out bad over here,
go out there and get your fourth and forever merch. Because TD ain't getting it, bro, with these delusional Dolphins takes. I heard Connor Long roasted you last night again.
Man, Connor got I gave Connor the business last night, man. I was worried, man. He was getting mad at me.
Folks, please do us a favor. Folks, please do us a favor and smash that like button. It's the easiest way to show love over here. As we are live Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. EST. And also, while you are watching, make sure you turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a live rendition of Fourth and Forever. But I did want to move on because it sounds like rumors are heating up that Russell Wilson, all right, has decided that the Giants might be his best option, all right? And according to some sources, he is all but just seconds away from signing and becoming the New York Giants quarterback. Now, I feel like we look at Russell Wilson and we're like, it's the Giants. They're going to absolutely blow. All right. But I kind of think that I like this move. I sort of like this move. Why? Because from a Brian Dable / a Joe Schoen, like their overall mentality, I think they just need to get to slightly below or slightly above 500 in order to keep their jobs. And I think that we all agree that this quarterback class that is incoming is nowhere near compared to the quarterback class that is going to be sort of presented next year. So I kind of like it. While the offensive line sucks, yes, they do. Rather than the Giants going out and getting a Shedeur Sanders and or a Cam Ward in the first top 3 picks, what you do is you just bring in Russell Wilson, who would be your starter anyway, and use that to beef up the offensive line for the first time in damn franchise history. It appears to seem, at least. I like it. I think that Russ can get them close to 500, save Dable's job, save Schoen's job, and next year they just revisit the draft where they are going to be having a wide selection of potential new QBs for the franchise by itself. Richie, Russ to the Giants, does this make sense? If the goal is to just get to 500 and save your job.
I mean, that's exactly what Russell Wilson can provide. There's really no upside. You know what you're getting with him. I mean, who are they drafting at 3 if they bring in Russell Wilson in your eyes, Dan? You said offensive line?
Yeah, I'd probably take Will Campbell.
I mean, they have a left tackle. That's the only offensive lineman they have, though.
So Membu, that I'd probably take.
Membu,
yeah, I'd probably take Membu. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that or get another weapon or Travis Hunter, I think would bring a lot of splash to that team. I think would be really fun in New York.
Sell some tickets at least.
Yeah, I mean, him and Malik Neighbors would be the faces of that team for sure. But yeah, Russell Wilson is it just the thing about the Giants is they haven't found their franchise quarterback since Eli Manning, and they need to find that. Last year, it was a big controversy of them not drafting a quarterback. They apparently love Drake May, and they did not get him. They love Jaden Daniels. They did not get him because they couldn't. But they also passed on Bo Nix. They passed on J.J. McCarthy. They passed on Michael Penix to draft Malik Neighbors. Now, is that going to be a mistake in hindsight? So, and now you're going to tell me that they're going to pass on another quarterback? If both Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders are off the board and they don't have a choice, that's their decision. So I think Russell Wilson could definitely save the job, but listen, you know what you're getting from him. We saw him in Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh made a mistake of going to Wilson instead of Fields, honestly. So we'll see.
We'll see. Chat, please let us know your thoughts. Will Russell Wilson help the Giants go to at least 500? TD, what do you got?
No. And like, why are we doing this? This man, Russell Wilson going out sad, bro. I get it. You know, you want to play football, you want to keep a job. Man, Russell Wilson going out sad. Ever since he left Seattle, at least Seattle was his home, whether he played well or not, well enough to be kept. But Denver, they threw him away with a lot of money on the books. Pittsburgh after one season, throwing them away potentially. And now you're going to the Giants. That's like, ain't that like the end of the road? That's like the end of the road for a quarterback, man. And
that's like the swan song.
Well, and while y'all was talking about Russell Wilson and the Giants, I just kept thinking to myself, man, what is Russell gonna do when he retires? You know what a lot of guys are gonna do. You know, he going into TV. This one might be a good coach. What is Russell gonna do, man? Is he gonna become a school teacher or something? I mean, what is he gonna do? You know, a brand ambassador or something.
What's he gonna be?
I don't know, man. What is Russ gonna do when he retires, man? But you know what? Going to New York might buy him another 2 or 3 years in the NFL, though. Just go there, man, and be an average quarterback. And the thing with Russ, he just wants to start. I don't think Russ ever wants to go to a backup role in the NFL in his career. At least he'll be able to go out saying I was a starter my entire career. The moment he becomes a backup, I think that's a case where he retires, man. So how much longer can he be a backup? Is New York this year? Will it be the Panthers next year? I don't know, but there's nothing to look into in here. They're not contenders. They're not going to be able to compete with the Giants, the Commanders, man, not even the Cowboys. And the Cowboys down. They're not going to be able to compete with these teams. So Russ would be a placeholder. Giants need to hurry up and get it done. They're trying to save their job, but they all getting fired. They all getting fired. If anything, they should have traded the house for a Kyler Murray or a Tua Tagovailoa to have a better chance. Because Russ is not better than those quarterbacks at this point in his career.
Oh, man. We have Slam and Sam is saying Scatabo in the third, wide receiver Jack back in fourth, Isaiah Tesla in the sixth round. All right, man. Listen, if we are talking about a damn Patriots mock draft, Scatabo be sick. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, but in the third, is he going in the third?
So I basically ended up getting a Will Campbell first round. Second round, I reached for Cam Scatabo, but he's a stud. And then I got Stewart, the edge rusher out of Michigan. So now you have a pretty good defensive line. And then I got them Jalen Royals and Tez Johnson, back-to-back picks. Tez looked great in the Senior Bowl, terrible in the Combine, but I'm putting more weight on the Senior Bowl than the Combine. And then I got them yet another right tackle, although they got Morgan Moses. Might as well get some quality depth in the fifth. That's me. That is overall me, man. Damn. Tez is saying, Tez, ew. Hey, man, listen, if you saw what Richie and I saw at the Senior Bowl, I think you'd probably be okay with it.
Star of the Senior Bowl, bro. Unguardable.
He was the star of the Senior Bowl. Let's not so look at the Underwear Olympics as something that you should be placing on a specific prospect. It's all about pads, game speed, and the whole nine. That is my thoughts. All right, moving on, man. Moving on. And shout out to Cameron as well, our graphics guy, who is now turned into our producer, who has made the show for us from now on. This is absolutely beautiful. It sounds like the Jets, man. Sounds like the damn Jets might treat Justin Fields like Kirk O'Chains this year. Might treat him like Kirk Cousins, pulling Atlanta Falcons, because they are still considering drafting a quarterback with the 7th overall pick. And a lot of names are pointing in the direction of Ole Miss starting QB Jackson Dart. All right, listen, this is something that we didn't necessarily see the Atlanta Falcons doing last year after they signed a big free agent. But will the Jets follow suit? Richie, thoughts on this? Obviously, all of these are rumors. Do you think this is a real thing, that the Jets are still interested in bringing in a quarterback with that 7th overall pick?
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. Jackson Dart has been a name that a lot of people, including myself, has been linking to the Jets for quite some time. And I said even before free agency started, I want the Jets to get Justin Fields, but if they do get him, I still would be interested in drafting a quarterback and have a quarterback room that consists of potentially Jackson Dart, Justin Fields, and Tyrod Taylor, and you still got Jordan Travis. Or say it's not Jackson Dart, maybe it's a Kyle McCord or a Tyler Show, somebody else besides Jackson Dart. I think this is really interesting. I never really expected the Jets to draft Jackson Dart at pick 7, but that's where all the buzz is headed. Todd McShay actually came out with a mock draft. Todd McShay is a very deep analyst of the NFL draft, and he said, watch out for the Jets to gain some buzz around Jackson Dart with pick number 7. And then ESPN's Rich Tamini said the same thing, that the Jets and Jackson Dart, there's a lot of buzz. I'm just reading between the lines right here. Our brand new football head of operations, Rick Spielman, was basically glazing Jackson Dart at the Senior Bowl. That was right before he took the job, where he was able to talk about these prospects freely. So now you talk about adding Jackson Dart. I know a lot of Jets fans are not on board with this because you're drafting at pick 7. In an ideal world, the Jets draft somebody else at pick 7, like a Mason Graham or a Tyler Warren, and then the Jets trade back into the first round to get Jackson Dart. But based off of all the mock drafts and where he's situated right now, the Jets may not have a choice. If they love Jackson Dart that much, they may have to get him at pick number 7. And listen, I love Justin Fields. I really do. But I'm not sitting here convinced that he's the franchise quarterback for the New York Jets. I'm not. And if the Jets feel like Jackson Dart could benefit from sitting behind Fields and Tyrod for a year, because I think Dart is that prospect that you cannot start in week 1. He's somebody that needs to sit for a year at least. And the Jets got to figure out their franchise quarterback with this new regime. And I am all on board of getting Jackson Dart. But at pick 7, that seems a little bit too steep of a price. But based off of the value, it seems like that may have to be an option. So I'm not there yet. But boy, oh boy, that would shock the world if the Jets go Jackson Dart at pick number 7.
Oh, man. It would not be the first time where we saw something like this. TD, thoughts on this? Should the New York Jets spend their 7th overall draft pick on a quarterback like Jackson Dart?
Yeah, they should, as in to be safe than sorry. But I don't think Fields are like that at all. I don't think Fields, and that'll complicate things. It'll make it very controversial in that locker room and in the organization because, quarterbacks struggle. Every quarterback. Like, did Josh Allen have a bad game last year?
Yeah, 2.
Yeah, right. Terrible ones, right? And one was really early in the season, right? If I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So if Justin Fields goes out and have 2 back-to-back terrible games, just like Josh Allen did, what do you think everybody's going to be doing then? What do you think there might be pressure to do? This is the problem. This is the problem when you have that guy and then if you draft them 7th overall, who's drafting a quarterback 7th overall and not saying they are the future? They are the future. That null and voids the whole thought process of Justin Fields. You're basically telling him you are a placeholder. And if you drafted Jackson Dart at 7th, if I'm Justin Fields, trade me. Right away, trade me. I want to be here. You already got plans to replace me. You're not giving me a fair shot to earn the job. And again, they could be saying, hey man, you win it, we'll trade him. But it don't work that way though. Nobody's gonna look at it that way.
I mean, TD, if you don't mind me saying, what has Justin Fields proven that he has a floor to stand on to say trade me? Like what he doesn't have no right to say that. He has not proven in this league yet that no team in the league is going to give Justin Fields the keys to the kingdom yet. He has to prove that. So for him saying trade me, I think he has no right to say that because it's not like he's done anything in this league yet.
Well, I'm just saying, maybe he says, you know what, I want to go back to Pittsburgh because now I don't see a difference of a situation.
Well, I'm sure if the Jets signed him, they told him like, hey, our plans are you're a quarterback this year, but we're still going to draft someone behind you. And I'm sure they're being transparent with that.
If they told him that,
he's totally unproven. My point is like, he has no right.
You're right.
Like he can't say that. He's not like,
but it's still fun. It still puts puts an extra layer of pressure though.
The way I look at it, TD, is the Minnesota Vikings. That's the model I see. The Vikings had a really good problem last year. They signed Sam Darnold in free agency. They drafted J.J. McCarthy. Sam Darnold went out there and balled out. And then they had to make that decision of Sam or J.J., and they picked J.J. If the Jets draft Jackson Dart and Justin Fields is balling next year, hypothetically, the Jets are going to be in the same situation Minnesota was. Oh, but we drafted Jackson Dart, but we have Justin Fields who's balling. So that's a great problem to have, and that's a problem I want the Jets to be in.
Yeah, I guess you're right, because regardless, you can still earn your right in the league for somebody else to want you next year at a higher price.
And same thing with Atlanta. Atlanta's different than Minnesota because Kirk Cousins did not play well, but they brought in Kirk Cousins. They drafted Michael Penix. Like the models out there. The Jets are trying to.
I agree with you. I agree with you, Richie. I think in thinking about it from that perspective, this would actually be huge for the Jets. And now I feel like the Jets need to make that move. They need to go ahead if they like Jackson Dart. If they like Jackson Dart and they believe in his upside and what he can become in this league, a franchise quarterback, yeah, you have to. You have to take him at 7 if he's there. So it's interesting, man. It's interesting.
Yeah, it's
crazy. Especially with the Patriots becoming better than y'all. Yeah, you got to.
Now, it is wild, though, because I tell you this, majority of Jets fans, the idea of drafting Jackson Dart at 7 is terrifying. No one really thinks he's worth drafting him that high. And that's the thing. It'll be an overdraft for some.
All right. Is there a bookend offensive lineman that y'all are looking at that pick?
Yes.
And he's going to be available?
Yeah. I'm on Membu.
Oh, Membu?
We need a right tackle, and he's the pure right tackle, and he's been skyrocketing up board. So he's going to be available. Or Tyler Warren, the tight end from Penn State, who's great, or Mason Graham, defensive tackle.
Right tackle, though, I could see if it was a left tackle.
Yeah, we have our left tackle, so that's why we don't.
Yeah.
I feel like
you can either get the right tackle and have your 2 bookend tackles for the future, or
So what other positions do the Jets need outside of right tackle and potentially a QB of the future?
Wide receiver next to Garrett Wilson. So wide receiver 2 is a big hole. Tight end, big hole. And then defensive tackle next to Quinnen. And that's really it. Safety, I guess.
So more of like a 3 technique sort of guy. So more like a 3 tech guy is what you're looking for.
Yeah, like we have our DT1, but we don't really have anybody next to him at Q. We have edge locked up. We need a right tackle, tight end, wide receiver 2, and then, of course, our franchise quarterback.
Interesting. Interesting, man. Well, the Jets...
If they love Jackson Dart enough, Dan, do you think, from your perspective, let me ask you this, like, drafting him at 7, like, would that be a smart move for the New York Jets? Like that's a big decision to make if that's the first draft pick of Darren Muji's career as the Jets GM.
So normally I would disagree, right? But like last year, I was sitting here telling you guys that there were only 2 quarterbacks worth it to be drafted in the first round. And look where that got me, right? Like no one thought that Bo Nix was going to be any good. And we saw like 5 quarterbacks go in the first 10 picks or something. So I'm sort of conflicted. I'm not going to lie to you. Like part of me wants you guys to go ahead and just get your art. What?
Washington adds another weapon.
Hold up. Breaking news.
I don't see it anywhere, bro. What are you talking about?
Michael Gallup.
Yeah, I saw that. Who cares?
He's a nice complimentary receiver.
I thought it was like your reaction was like, oh, dude, he just got freaking.
No, I'm just saying with what they've already done. Is Michael Gallup not a nice compliment?
Nah, bro. I saw him and I was like,
he retired 2 years ago. Dude,
Michael Gallup is like a wide receiver 4 at this point, bro. You were like,
that's another
one. They got
man, bro. You got me so excited. I thought Aaron Rodgers finally made a decision or something.
Yeah, I know. I thought it was something like that, bro.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Michael Gallup, folks. Listen, that doesn't even deserve the breaking news graphic. That doesn't even deserve. Oh my God! All right. Man. Anyway, let's. We can move on. Next topic.
Well, never mind. All right.
Oh man. Next topic. So the saga over at the Cincinnati Bengals. Trey Hendrickson has officially said, and it is officially believed, that if he does not get a contract, he is fully willing to sit out in 2025. Richie, thoughts on this? What do you got?
You know who's winning free agency right now? I got to give some love to.
Who's that?
A reporter. Which reporter is winning free agency? It's this man right here. Jordan Schultz.
He is, man. Dude, first off, like my respect skyrocketed once he like bucked up against Ian Rappaport in that Starbucks.
And like not even that, like that story was hilarious, but he's breaking news before everybody. He was first on this news. Like he is beating Ian Rappaport and Adam Schefter at their own game. And the reason why I say that, he broke this news and he said this today. Like the Bengals posted this fun little clip of them, whatever. And he said, there's still one more to go, Bengals fans. So he's plugged in. And what he's referring to is Trey Hendrickson, of course. So I feel like I'm not counting out the Cincinnati Bengals, bro. I don't know if you guys saw this edit that they made, but it's pretty good. It was great. So I'm not counting them out of them signing Hendrickson eventually. It may take some time. We did see that. Did you see the Danielle Hunter deal? That's pretty lucrative. So I think the Bengals are going to figure out a way to keep Hendrickson long term. I really do, based off of how they were able to do it with Chase and Higgins somehow. I don't know how, but they're figuring it out, man. They're figuring it out.
What do you got, TD? Hendrickson may sit out in 2025. Will they come to a deal or will they ship him off?
Yeah, they're going to come to a deal. Okay, they're going to come to a deal. He's going to get paid. He's going to get the money that he deserves. He's a bookend guy. He's that good, and they'll figure it out. They'll make it work, man. Don't fret. These contracts are a little bit more complicated than it seems because they'll make the money work, but then they got to work on the small nuances whenever they are threading money, threading the needle with money. Well, we'll give you that, but we need to move this and we need to, make this much guaranteed after this date, because sometimes it could be, hey, if I'm giving you a $150 million deal, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you want $100 million guaranteed. I might have to say, hey, we'll give you $80 million guaranteed, but after next year, we will guarantee an additional $35 million to put you over 100. Well, I wanted on the upfront guarantee. Come on, man. You're going to be on this roster after 1 year. All of that stuff goes into play. They're trying to negotiate it because they don't want to give as much bonus now. What people don't realize is teams love to keep base salary so that they convert it later into signing bonus. But if you have signing bonus up front, you ain't got a lot of base salary to convert later if you need to. So they want the wiggle room to be able to take some of the base salary and convert it on the back end sometimes. So I think that's what's happening here. They're just trying to get a deal that works with the guaranteed amount of money that works. And a signing bonus where they can have flexibility long term. It'll get done. Now, this one can stretch all the way out to training camp, though. There's no rush on the pass rusher as long as it gets done. And it will. It will be done before week 1 of the regular season.
Week 1 before the regular season.
It's just tough that you're going to go through a whole summer potentially.
Yeah. And so your secondary is going to be getting paid $15 an hour. But, hey, I love it. I love it over there, baby. Anyway, let's go ahead and move on to the next topic because I do know my friend TD has a hard stop. So we want to get through all these topics right before we send him off. Jalen Milroe. Mr. Milroe. All right. His pro day. Pretty damn impressive, if I say so myself. He ran a 4.37 at the Alabama Pro Day. And you know what? I feel like this prospect has been getting a lot, I don't want to say hate, but I also don't want to say that he's been getting a lot of love, right? For us that saw him in person at the Senior Bowl, I really didn't think that he was very impressive, specifically when it came into a lot of the 11-on-11s. And then even just like the standard like throwing drills was not really popping off, of course, outside of his deep ball. Does this help his draft stock at all? Or like where exactly do you think Jalen Milroe falls in the NFL draft? Is he a second rounder, third rounder, dare I say a fifth rounder? What are you thinking about this very polarizing prospect? TD, what do you got?
I think he'll go in the third round. And like let me ask you guys this. What's his official weakness?
Accuracy, throwing the football.
Yeah.
Is it not what everybody said about Lamar Jackson?
Yeah, but Lamar as a prospect, I feel like is completely different. Lamar had more polish and more upside accuracy and more production throwing the football in college than he did.
So this guy just can't hit the side of a bar.
It looked like, and I'll be honest, man, it looked like
right?
that Senior Bowl, bro. I saw that in person.
So it's weird. It's really weird, right? Like he has a great deep ball. Problem is his short and intermediate accuracy is god awful. It is so bad. I have no idea how he could be so pinpoint on the deep ball. He sort of reminds me of Anthony Richardson as far as his ability to throw the football. Solid deep ball, but everything else terrible.
But faster. Moves better.
Yeah.
The man ran a 4.3.
Yeah.
The man is a quarterback.
Yeah, but still. The man ran a 4.3.
But still, he's trying to be a quarterback. How much does that matter is my point.
Hey, in today's NFL, a lot, because that's a part of the quarterback play
Of
now.
course, but I mean, if he can throw it as efficiently as Jalen Hurts can or Lamar can, then you got something special. But can he do that?
Oof.
That's the big question. I feel like it's tough. I mean, his footwork, his fundamentals. Like, I was watching him in the Senior Bowl, man, going back there and missing wide open receivers on drills when they're running routes on air. So it's interesting. I think that Jalen Milroe is actually going to go a little bit earlier. And I still think that the Jets could go after Jalen Milroe. I know there's a lot of hype around Jackson Dart, but I could see a world where the Jets get Jalen Milroe. Because you talk about a player comparison. I see Justin Fields as a player comparison for Jalen Milroe, 100%. So I think if the Jets want to double dip there, the Jets also have met with him and had a lot of individual workouts with him. So there is some interest with the Jets and Jalen Milroe.
Okay. I still say third round pick.
Third round.
I think he's a third round prospect.
No, I think he's second. I think he's going to go a little earlier than we think, unless he just drops because of that Senior Bowl. And I know we kind of spun the ball really well in the combine, but I'd be shocked to see him get into the third round.
And so we have Habitual Line Stepper saying his comp is Kenny Pickett, but with small ass hands. Wow. He said, stop mentioning Lamar. He's like, don't you dare compare Jalen Milroe to Lamar. Oh my God. He's putting foot down. He's like, no way. No way in hell will I allow that. All right. Damn. All right. Milroe.
Sorry.
So in my opinion, I think that he is just going to be a third and or a fourth round pick. He reminds me a lot right of the quarterback that is currently on the trade block for the New England Patriots and Joe Milton. Like he reminds me of a Joe Milton. Then again, like that's even another topic. Could Joe Milton potentially be a dude?
He is. Right? The Patriots are going to trade him and they're going to regret it.
Could he be a damn dude? Rod Dunn has just become a YouTube member. Rod, thank you so much, man. We appreciate you tuning on in and showing us. Rod, dude. Rod. All right, dude. All right, last topic. The Cleveland Browns. The Browns are interested in Carson Wentz. Damn, man. He is the epitome of a journeyman. And I feel bad for the guy, right? Like that season before he got hurt, and then Nick Foles ended up going and winning the Super Bowl on his behalf for the Philadelphia Eagles. And then he just was never the same. I don't know, man. Like I look at Carson Wentz and I ask myself, like, was it all smoke and mirrors that one year prior to his injury, or was he always this dude? And somehow the scheme that Doug Peterson had at the time masked the entire situation. I'm not particularly sure, but Wentz right over to the Cleveland Browns. It's a very intriguing situation over in Cleveland because we hear Myles Garrett smiling in interviews being like, yeah, I got a good idea who the quarterback's going to be. I highly doubt that Wentz was the guy that he was alluding to. But so Richie, thoughts on Carson Wentz to the Browns? And so do you think he was ever a good quarterback?
He was a great quarterback for the Eagles that year. He got hurt.
Yeah.
But never really. Have we seen him much after that? Like, I feel like we haven't seen him much. But yeah, I mean, he's not at the stage of his career. He's completely at the journeyman position. I don't expect anything really magical to come out of Carson Wentz when he's given the opportunity. I mean, the Browns are another interesting spot, man. Like, this is the fear I had with the Jets missing out on Justin Fields. Is a Russell Wilson, a Carson Wentz, or like a Marcus Mariota. Like, at least Fields is young and has some type of fun. Not saying he's going to be the long-term answer, but still, Carson Wentz, man, that's boring. If you bring in Wentz, you better draft the quarterback, but then you got Deshaun Watson. Oh, what a mess.
Oh, my God. TD, was Carson Wentz ever a good quarterback?
He was a good quarterback. And they loaded around him. Like Wentz, wait, hold on. Who won the Super Bowl?
The Eagles?
Nick Foles was the dude.
Nick Foles replaced him and won the Super Bowl, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a loaded team they had when he got hurt. But yeah, Wentz, I mean, you're bringing him in just to hold a spot for now. That's all. I mean, anybody really think Browns got a chance to do something special this year? Like, I understand they have, a few pieces on that roster, but unless they draft one of these top quarterbacks and they come in and just shine day one, I don't see it. I just don't see it. So bringing in Wentz is just a guy to be in the room as a veteran. But yeah, and also, are the Browns going to take a quarterback? Are they actually going to take a quarterback?
Yeah,
in the first round. So we don't know. They're like the most unknown team because they're in a weird situation, especially with the Watson contract. So they're just in a weird place. Nobody knows exactly what the plan is and how they want to proceed.
Well, very much so, because we did see Deshaun Watson leak his hype training up video.
He said he wants to come back and and ball out, according to him. And I cannot believe the Browns restructured that contract. I cannot believe it.
I mean, what other option did they have? You know what I'm saying? Like, what other options?
Just forfeit the season.
Yeah.
And you would have been,
it one hit, bro, for $2. That's it.
Oh, man. Damn, man. Oh, no.
Wow,
you hurting Bob, man.
I love my dog, man. Come on. Are you okay, Bobo? I'm sorry.
Oh, my gosh.
It fell on my dog, man. Come on, Tony.
Oh, my gosh.
Come here, Bobo. Come here, Bobo.
Tony, you engaged in hurting the animals,
I didn't even see him laying there. I didn't even see him laying there. Anyway,
hello, Peter.
Don't worry, he's all right. Come here, buddy. Come here.
Yeah, Peter, I want to report
Don't you dare.
an endangered animal.
There you go. He's good.
He's all right. He loves me.
Oh my
gosh.
Right?
He loves me.
Beautiful.
I'm sorry, Bubba. All right. Anyway.
Hopefully the girl's not watching.
Thank you so much for tuning in to another edition of Fourth and Forever. All right, folks. Roundtable Sports, Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. EST. Richie, would you like to say anything before we let you go?
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We at least like to get to 100 likes for every show. We're not even close to, so please help us out and get there. We're also very, very close to 20,000 subscribers, so please help us out with that. We love you guys. And another one quick announcement, Draftaholics will be live later today, so make sure you guys go check that out. Shout out to Colby and Derek and Dosa Dion and Broshimo for the Draftaholics. So all your NFL draft wizards, go check us out at Draftaholics after the show later today.
And so what you got, TD?
Nothing. Another great show. Listen, we got a lot more clarity with these quarterbacks, but it's still going to be a roller coaster offseason. Draft time is upon us. About 30 days, maybe less. 30 days or so. Exciting times, man. Mock drafts are coming as well. Thank y'all for the love and support on Fourth and Forever. We'll see y'all soon.
Folks, thank you so much, and we will see you tomorrow. Same time, same place. Peace.
Peace.